Welcome to Hustle Estate from good old New Jersey and Detroit, Michigan. I'm one of your hosts, Isaac Gilman.
And I'm your other host, Ed Hendrickson. How do you feel about Kobe?
It's just, yes, it's kind of like it's unbelievable. I mean, I don't think there's any other way to put it.
I think that's a good way to
It's
say it, actually, because that's kind of just how it seems. It's like, wow, that's unbelievable.
yeah. I mean, a lot of these stars they seem untouchable,
Yeah,
right? They seem like bigger than life, and I actually don't think like Kobe. There are people that are definitely more like I would say maybe egotistical about things. I'm not Kobe certainly had his like run-ins with things. He never seemed to be the type that was like trying to always be in the spotlight all the time. He just wanted to be the best,
right.
you know. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, like, is it LeBron's fault that he's been followed around since literally middle high school by like he's just a freak athlete that's been amazing at his like he just wants to play basketball. I mean, maybe now he's like doing other stuff, building movies and things like that. And Kobe obviously has done those things after basketball and towards the end of his basketball time. But I don't know, Kobe never seemed flashy, I guess is the best way to put
Right.
it. He just
He seemed like a pretty cool dude, I mean, for what it's worth. Like,
yeah, he definitely seemed like a guy that just was like super driven.
do you at all follow that guy who Grover, I think his name is, who like trained him or whatever?
No.
He's like said a few things that it's just like, yeah, like that's all like in positive ways. Just like
Yeah.
that's just like what he was. He was just like super driven. Like that was his whole thing. Like that's what you're like. You want to be better, and like if you didn't push him hard in practice, like he was mad at you. Like just very like driven to be the best in
I mean
every
I
possible way.
I think that goes back to one of our conversations earlier. Is like I know I'm reading this book about Edison. I know I've talked about it before, but like I think Kobe and I would relate him to like an Edison. He's a little crazy.
Yeah,
Like the amount of time he spends to develop a craft and then to perfect that craft it's something that like just not everybody has the ability to do or wants to do. I don't know if it's a capacity thing or if it's a or just a decision thing, right? Like we may all have the capacity to like do amazing things, but our actions don't always do it. Like, right? I want to like watch TV. Kobe may not have done that. Like he was bilingual. He spoke Italian. I heard somewhere he maybe spoke Spanish fluent. Like he spoke Italian fluently. Grew up in Italy. Like
do you think
he's
Kobe like
clearly a
sat
smart
down
dude.
and watched like an hour of TV ever? I mean,
I mean, I think he watched basketball.
yeah,
But and like that's like think about like a Bill Belichick, right? Like an amazing NFL player or coach, like your or Tom Brady, right? Like let's say I would say Tom Brady and Kobe are probably pretty close equivalents in terms of like their craft. Like they are the
hmm
best at what they do or have been the best at what they do. Maybe LeBron obviously is up there. This is their life 24/7. Until it gets to the end, like Tom Brady, LeBron, and Kobe, they've all started other things outside of their primary craft, just like any business, entrepreneur. If we tie it back into kind of like what we talk about on a regular basis, starts secondary businesses or invests in other companies, right? Like if you think about Dan Gilbert, he built a mortgage empire, but like that empire has grown substantially because he diversified, but he's been driven to build companies. Like that's his drive. So like Kobe's not just driven to do basketball, he's driven to just do
build
great
stuff. Like
things.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, whether it's like movies, investment companies, whatever, or like with his daughter who died, like the Mamba Academy. That was his way of giving back, or just one of his many ways probably. I just think that these guys are, they're just like they want it more than others, and they're willing to do pretty much whatever it takes.
They're just wired differently. Like I mean, I've read, outside of Kobe, obviously, just like if you want to be good at anything, just like really work hard at it. Like it's almost as simple as that. Like if you, I mean, look, there's natural talent behind things. Don't take this the wrong way, but like if you want to be a good basketball player and you played and dedicated your life to do 8 hours a day of basketball and 3 hours a day of film, like you'd be pretty damn good. Like you'd probably be pretty good, right? I mean, again, natural ability will be a big thing into this, but it's like I want to be successful at loans. I mean, I put a lot of time into doing this. Like, I mean, I'm like easily like 12-hour days these days. Like, it's just like I'm living and breathing this, like, no matter where I go to work, I do this. On the car ride home, I'm talking to somebody about loans. I come home, I hang out with the family, have dinner, I go back to work for an hour or two. Like, I guess that's just the way you get better and you be great. I mean, like Kobe said that he got a helicopter because he was wasting time being in traffic,
Yeah,
basically.
just
So he got the
true.
helicopter to fly. Like, he still wanted to spend time with his family apparently. So he was like, I realized I couldn't like drop my daughter off at school and then make it to basketball and like put in the time I needed to come home to pick her up. It's like, so he's like, so I got a helicopter. He was like, I flew to, like, I took my daughter to school and then I flew to practice and I flew home. And like, he saved a lot of time just by doing that. And he dedicated that time to basketball. It was like,
Yeah,
how can I be better?
and it's
We
worth
talk
it
about
for
him.
him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. Like, if we're trying to plug something here, one thing, like he wrote a book, called the Mamba Mentality, right? Mamba is his thing, and it's just like
Uh,
the simple version of it is the Mamba Mentality is just like about focusing on the process and trusting in the hard work that you put in. I mean, and that's like really what he did was he said I'm going to work harder than everybody, and he did it. I haven't read the book, but you know, the Mamba Mentality, it's something that he pretty much lived by. I mean, it's
yeah.
simple. Not everybody does it, or not everyone is able to do it or wants to do it. He took it to the next level, and I think that's why he was able to speak multiple languages, or build businesses outside of the NBA, because he just did it, right? He like put that hard work in, because at the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to, is like, I'm going to sacrifice watching an hour of TV or 2 hours of TV or whatever. He wasn't willing to sacrifice family time. That's why he got the helicopter. But he was willing to sacrifice other things. And
And that's the thing too. Like, obviously he was very successful financially,
yeah,
but that like was a byproduct of being the greatest at what he was doing. Like, he wanted to be great. Like, same thing with Edison, right? Like, he became very successful, but like, he didn't set out to be successful. He set out to be great. And by being great, he became successful. I think that's like something to think about
yeah,
at the end of the day. Like, it's hard to set out to be wealthy because in order to be that wealthy, you do have to love what you do. You can't hate basketball and be that good at basketball and be that successful at basketball.
right, right.
You burn out. You can't do that every day, that hard, that intense. It was about the drive, and he was good, and that drive made him good, and that goodness made him successful.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's insane. I mean, it is truly unbelievable that it happened. Hopefully, you just feel bad for his family and all the other families involved.
yeah,
Whether it's just losing one or two people, like, I doubt it can be. It's definitely not easy. I mean, I can't relate. Kobe's probably a great person to learn from if you're looking to start a business. I would check out the Mamba Mentality and just think
did
about,
you read
like,
it?
no, no, not yet. But I would check out that, and I would also, I mean, you just read about him throughout his career, because again, we kind of grew up with it. He, not saying he did everything right, but he definitely worked hard to maybe try to move on from those things and learn from those things, and definitely, obviously worked hard on the court. So I think you can take a ton away to think about he uh, what he did, how he was successful, and how you can apply it to your own success. You want to close it out?
All right, everybody, thanks for listening today. We appreciate it. If you want to catch more episodes, check us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and iTunes. If you have any questions for us, you can email us at hustlestate1, that's the number one, at gmail.com, or reach us on our social media, being Twitter and Instagram. We are at Hustle Estate. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Thanks, everybody.